So you've just gotten your positive pregnancy test and you're starting to think about the future. And you have one burning question right now. When is my baby going to be due? Now you're probably thinking about a life together with your new sweet bundle and what everything's gonna look like, what hair color they're gonna have, what color eyes they're gonna have. Are they gonna have dad's nose? You have so many questions, but of course, what you really want to know is, when does this journey begin? So I think if you're watching my video right now, there's a good chance that you are pregnant. So congratulations, welcome to the club. I've been there myself. I have had 4 wonderful children. So I wanted to introduce a new topic to my channel today, which is the law of attraction. If this is your first time watching, my name is Lynn and you are watching A Mom's Life. This is my journey through pregnancy and motherhood and everything in between, all the chaos that comes with it, good, bad, and otherwise in between. And I'm so happy to have you here today. If you're interested in topics like this, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and pop that like button for me, and let's get on with the video. But actually, before we get into the video, let's really quick manifest some freebies. I have loads of them in links in the description as seen above. So the law of attraction is something that I discovered around 2017, 2018 when I was at a really dark time in my life. I started noticing that I just continually always had bad things and a lot of misfortune that just seemed to follow me through my life, and it was really discouraging, and I knew I needed to do something about it, and I knew I had to start trying to change something. And I thought, what can I start with? Where do I look? Where do I start? And that's when I stumbled upon the law of attraction. If you don't know what the law of attraction is, essentially what it is that whatever you put out into the universe, you are going to receive back. And it's really, really a powerful mindset that you can take forth and use and apply to almost any single element of your life. To practice the law of attraction, really you're going to be doing a lot of visualization. You're going to be practicing gratitude, healthy, positive mindsets. Journaling was something that I did a lot that really, really helped me. Speaking things out into the universe and just practicing overall good karma, because you're going to reap what you sow, and that's really, really important. So as I was learning about the law of attraction, I actually realized that I had used the law of attraction to select my second child's due date. And not only his due date, but the actual date that he ended up being born on, which was 11/11/11. So how I did this was quite simply through this mantra. I just constantly told myself that my son was going to be born on 11/11/11. It just seemed divine, and mostly it was because I was noticing a lot of synchronicities. So for instance, when I first got pregnant, I calculated my own due date myself, and I got 11/11/11. When I went to my first OBGYN appointment and I got my first checkup and my first ultrasound, my OBGYN, she was a midwife. She was stunned, and she says, "This never happens, but the date that you gave us, the date that I came up with, and the date of the ultrasound all came up with 11/11/11. So it was 3 for 3. I was thinking this is pretty divine. It also worked out really conveniently because I was a very busy working mom, and I had off work that day because it was Veterans Day. So I just knew that my son was going to be born on 11/11/11. Furthermore, I also noticed another synchronicity. If you kind of change the capitalization in his name, there actually were 2 11s, the I and the L, and then the L and the other I. If you made the L's lowercase and the I's uppercase, there's 2 11s buried in his name already. And I just figured this is meant to be, this is what's supposed to happen. And I just knew I was going to give birth on my due date, on his birthday. I just felt it in my soul, and every day I counted down the days until 11/11/11. So from the very first couple of hours of my pregnancy, I just knew. I had this mindset. I just absolutely knew that he was going to be born on 11/11. And sure enough, on 11/11/11, I went into labor in the early hours of the morning, and he was actually born at 8/11. which is just incredible. It was also a full moon, and it was not only a full moon, but shortly after he was born, there was a very small earthquake that had an epicenter not too far from where he was born. It was just like this perfect little world all coming together, and it was just, to me, it was so divine. And absolutely, I would attest to the law of attraction and just being so sure that he was going to be born on that day. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to work you all through a couple of steps to, number one, select a date, because maybe you don't have a date in mind yet. A due date is obviously an approximate estimate. So if you really don't know, or if you don't have a specific date in mind, I would select that date. But here's a couple of ideas for selecting the due date of your baby. Number one, the first thing that you can do is look up your approximate due date and find the first full moon near that due date. That's a great way to select when your baby could be born. Another idea that I have is that you can select maybe a date near your due date, again within about 3 weeks, that's important to you. Maybe grandma's birthday, or maybe a friend that you recently lost. Now, to apply the law of attraction and make it work for you, take your due date that you've selected, and what you're going to do is create like a daily routine, essentially. And what you're going to do is you are going to visualize yourself giving birth to your healthy little baby on the date that you selected. What you really want to do is you want to really have a very clear mental image of you giving birth on this date. Picture what family is going to be in the room with you. Picture the emotions that you're going to have, or the fear or the excitement, and that kind of complex cocktail of emotions that you'll have that day. Try to really visualize everything. I mean, I want you to know, like, what are you wearing? Like, how is your hair done? Really get a clear picture. Picture the inside of the hospital room if you've already been there to visit it, or just picture something in general. Have a really clear visualization and make sure that this date is burning in the back of your mind when you're picturing that image. Next, practicing gratitude. Honestly, it's a pretty easy one, but what are you grateful for? You're probably grateful for the baby that you're about to have and the life that you're about to lead. But maybe write down like 5 things every day that you're like really truly grateful for. They could be the same every day, they could be slightly different, but definitely include gratitude, things that you're grateful for. There was a period of my life where I really struggled financially, and I would kind of say like a prayer every time before I ate, and I was like, I am so grateful for this food, because I didn't always know if I was going to be able to eat again that way soon in the future. So I always tried to practice gratitude, and it's really awesome to have a routine. Like, if there's something that you do every day, like every day after you brush your teeth, you look in the mirror and you say like, I am grateful for XYZ. And then that's going to follow into the next part, which is actually going to be called Speak It Into Existence. So after I practice my gratitude, that's a great time to really speak into existence, and then maybe even journal. You can do these things together. They can be separate parts of the day. Maybe every time you get your tea, you're going to want to be journaling, but speaking into existence is a great thing to follow up with gratitude. So if you've brushed your teeth in the morning, you've just said what you're grateful for, you're going to speak into existence like, my baby Theo will be born on June 24th, and just say that multiple times. Now, if you really start to dig into the law of attraction, if you really want to, speaking things into existence is really there's like a deep spiritual connection with it. So in lieu of speaking things into existence, what I did was I actually wrote down my affirmations. When you do this, you have to write them with intention, or you can even speak them with intention. So you don't want to say like, I want my baby to be born on New Year's Day. You have to say like, my baby will be born on New Year's Day. So for instance, I really wanted a promotion at my job, and every single day I had this journal, and it was a smaller journal. So let's say that maybe there was like 20 lines on this paper. I would write down 20 times, I will be promoted to IT supervisor, and I would write that down 20 times. And then the next day, what I would do is I would write down what things I was going to do and accomplish in my role as IT supervisor. So what that did was that really just kind of locked in and solidified this mindset, like I'm going to have this job. I'm already thinking about my goals in this job. So in this instance, what you could do was maybe describe a little bit what your baby looks like. My baby will have green eyes, and she will have this pleasant little coo when she sees me, and she will just be so in love with her daddy. And you can just write all these affirmations down about your baby, but you know, start it with, you know, my baby will be born on, and then the date that you selected. I think affirmations are a fantastic way to really get things into your mind. And if you're like me, I like to have an action followed up with what I'm doing. So writing something down really helps to solidify things with me, and it really helps me absorb them deeper into my head. So another thing that you're supposed to do and I already described this, is you're supposed to look for synchronicities. So maybe there's some sign telling you, like maybe you haven't selected the date yet that your baby will be born, or you can't really decide like which day sounds best. So maybe you're gonna look for synchronicities. Like maybe you're gonna be going to the library later that day. Who does that anymore? Do people still go to libraries? I hope so. Anyway, you're going to the library later and you just notice on the clock that it's 2:22 p.m. Like, okay, you know, like I saw that number yesterday. Like yesterday, you know, I was at school and I was pregnant in school, so this is totally relatable to me. And the college professor told us to go to page 222. And, you know, like what are the coincidences that I keep seeing this number over and over again? Or, you know, it could be any number like 423. Just look for synchronicities. Look for something that's been standing out to you and say like, hey, you know, that's odd. That's just 2 days before my due date. Like maybe this means something. Maybe this number means something to me. And look for something like that. But these synchronicities, they're going to start to kind of materialize, and that's going to be a stronger sign that maybe you're working in the right direction. It's going to really reaffirm your mindset that you're already giving yourself, which is really important to make this all come full circle. So in general, if you stay with me to the end of this video, I can't tell you how grateful I am for you. And also, I also started practicing gratitude in my videos around the time that I started really getting into the law of attraction. So if you ever noticed how much at the end of my videos I tell you how grateful I am, I sincerely mean it. And that's definitely a mindset that I adopted from learning about the law of attraction and how that has carried with me. I am sincerely happy that you are here. If you like law of attraction based videos, I would love to know that. And if you want to see more, I'd love to do that too, because I have other ideas like law of attraction just to get pregnant, or you know, like I said earlier, career goals, money mindset. I used it for a lot of my financial issues in my life that I was able to overcome. And I really do give that gratitude right back to the law of attraction, because I do believe that that really helped shape my mindset and change my entire life. So if you're interested in more, I'd love to hear about it. If you like this video, please do me a favor, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and then hit the like button. Again, so grateful to have you. Thank you so much for being here, and be blessed. Congratulations on your baby.